Kathleen Crippen, 564 Atlantic Avenue. At the reorganization meeting, one of the residents, Gladys Erb, had brought in a letter to the editor for the Asbury Park Press. And I don't know how many of you might have gone home and read that letter, but it was very interesting. It dealt with violations of the Open Public Meeting Act. And I did take the letter and send it to a gentleman named Walter Lewers, who runs the New Jersey Foundation for Open Government, and he very kindly weighed in with an opinion. And he agreed with the letter writer that council people who are having sidebar discussions that are not recognized by the chair, that is a violation of the Open Public Meeting Act. Everything that happens at the meeting has to be heard by the public. And he also said text messages are included in that. And I know some people have sat up here and sent text messages. I'm not going to single people out because they know who they are. Everybody was on their best behavior tonight. I just wanted to put it on the public record that holding sidebar conversations and apparently also sending text messages from the dais are pieces of information that the public can then put in an Oprah request for. So I appreciate that the council behaved themselves tonight and that everybody was good and that there wasn't a lot of sidebar and questioning. The mayor needs to recognize anybody who's going to speak or ask a question, and I would just like to see that behavior continue in future meetings. Thank you.
Can I be recognized?
You got your hand raised?
Fred, if my wife texts me while I'm on the dais and I text her back, is that operable? Is that a violation of the Open Public Meetings Act?
No.
Well,
No, I want an opinion on it, because that does happen.
first, if I could suggest as a matter of best practices that if any of you get a phone call, obviously you need to have your phones on you in case you have an emergency.
Exactly.
I would suggest that you just excuse yourself from the dais
Okay.
and take the call outside of the council area or respond to that text. But I could understand Ms. Crippen's point. It does raise reasonable questions on the part of the public who don't know that that came from your wife, who you're communicating with, and
Correct.
the public is not seeing the communication. And the Open Public Meetings Act is all about transparency, and the public is supposed to witness the full deliberations of the governing body while you're here, and they wouldn't have the ability to do that if you're communicating with an unknown person that the public's not aware of.
So it would be appropriate for me to leave the dais,
Absolutely.
sit right there, respond to my wife, and come back on.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
mean, if you need to respond, I would suggest removing yourself from the dais and going out.
Well, some of us have young kids and, you know, things come up.
I have another question. In the age of smartphones, which is what they are, they're very smart. They also have calendars, which we can check. And
Are we allowed to look at
We
calendars?
can also take notes on it, and we can send a note to us, hey, this is what somebody is talking about on the asking a question, can you please address it? So it sends a reminder for one of us to look something up the next day. So you tread very lightly on accusing people of using phones inappropriately when they're now, I don't need to take notes. Some people are dinosaurs and they still need to take notes. I can do something right on my phone and send me an email or send me a message, correct?
Your point is well taken.
Yes.
Yeah, people have,
Thank you.
you know, their laptops, they've got, you know, all kinds of devices now that they're taking notes on, and it's not necessarily the case that they're communicating with outside parties.
Fred, or Mr.
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, go.
Accusation.
Are we permitted to look at our calendars on our smartphone?
I would have no problem, and I think the public would support your being able to look at your calendars, because while you're up there, a lot of times you're scheduling a special meeting or doing other things that require you to look at your calendars. The intention here is that you're not actively communicating
Correct.
with those who are not here at the meeting, and the public can't
Correct.
be privy to those discussions. And we're
Correct. No, and that's a good point. That's a good point. I just want to make sure we're all familiar with the parameters of what we are allowed to do and not allowed to do. Thank you.
But I think with the allegation is that we're texting each other. Is that right? Or not?
Well, that
Yes.
may be, I don't know for sure, but
Which
you know,
is
the
unfair
public
to
might
everyone.
presume that that might be the case, but it's speculation, and
It's accusations.
Right, better safe than sorry.
Accusations which from
Good.
it's too
Thank
many
you.
unfounded accusations.
Thanks, Fred.
I just think as a best practice, you know, that I would recommend that you
Very
remove
good.
yourself and respond out.
Okay,
Thank you.
yes.
Sir, there was no allocation allegation, Miss Cindy, as the one special person. There's been too much conference talking, and the public has no idea what's going on, and then somebody says something. I brought that article in because I felt it applied to everyone here. Also, the talking up so we can hear you. If you were obliged tonight, and it was okay, but I've had 2 people already ask me what was being said. Now, what are you gonna do about the acoustics?
Gladys, we're trying. We got reminders tonight.
You were. And I
Okay?
could
So
hear
we are trying.
Mayor, we can't hear. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I don't believe anyone's accusing anyone of anything, but we have the recommendations from Mr. Rosello.
It's good.
It's good reminder, Fred. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anyone else like to speak? No, okay. I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye.